Hey everybody,
Hi guys.
I'm Michael,
I'm Sam.
and this is
Sis
Synopsis. Welcome to this Tuesday special.
Tuesday.
It's my fault.
It's okay.
I went to a wedding, it was lovely, and it was on the Sunday that we normally do it, and we had no service. So we couldn't even do a virtual one if we wanted.
You know, we gotta live our lives. It's fine,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Here we are, yeah. So today, we have an interesting topic we'd like to discuss. So we've been talking about where is the line when it comes to artists, say musicians, movie stars, authors, whatever, something that you consume from, you know, their music, their writing, movies, whatever. What is the line when you find out that these people may have done something very, very questionable in their lives that makes you maybe consider not wanting to consume their art anymore? But also, you know, if it's somebody that you really enjoy as an artist, is there a balance where we still consume their art and maybe not support them as the human that they may be? So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Juicy.
Let's get into it.
Juicy topic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's, you know, it's not a black and white answer. I think because, you know, we have to ask ourselves what is right and wrong. Like, what do we fully agree with what's right and wrong?
Yeah.
And what do we stand for? You know, if we stand for something that, or we feel something is right or wrong about something, and then are we going to stand up for it? Are we going to be complacent if we know other people aren't?
Yeah.
So I think there's like that component to it. Also with, I'm a social worker. So I always look at the human component of things. I kind of just do that without even thinking a lot of the time, which always makes people uncomfortable. Joy. But I think too, you know, there are people who, as we all have seen in the last year and a half, that there's good people who are just ignorant, who are uneducated, and by their own fault, too. Like, I don't think that just because you're ignorant gives you a pass by any means. And so I think there's this room for, are these people willing to maybe change where the thing that they did, or are they still like really gung-ho and strong about how they feel about what they did or what their stances are, right? Because, so I think that there's two places for it. Yeah. If somebody's just a shitty person in secret, and that comes to light, and they just stay shitty, I personally will probably have a hard time supporting and still engaging in the art. Yeah. Now, if something happened, we find out that they've done something bad or wrong, and there's accountability there, and there's growth there, and they're trying to be a better human, or whatever that looks like. I think that leaves room for, I'll see if I still engage. Sure. Because we're human, you know, we can be shitty. We can be shitty in whether it was how we were raised, what we've been exposed to. And so I think always allowing grace for people as our like front runner always helps us gauge people. It gives people the chance to do better, and I think we all deserve that chance. And then if you don't take that and you just want to still be shitty, well, then you could keep your art. That's good. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, a big example that's come up recently is J.K. Rowling and her new series that's coming out on HBO. It's Harry Potter's being kind of rebooted in a sense. They're doing a TV series of it, and it comes out this year. And there's a lot of chit chat about this, specifically because she's been showing to be pretty transphobic. But then on the flip side of that, not justifying it, but like it just employed all these people for 8 seasons or 7 seasons worth of work on this big network. You know, if I'm 11 years old and I just got hired to be Harry Potter for 7 seasons, is he supposed to say no? Because he might not even know what it means. He's so young. Sure. You know, like, so it's just so complex. And me as a performer who gives out a lot of art,
sure,
right? And am hoping people will consume it as long as I live or whatever. I'm like, well, I definitely want to make sure that I'm not spouting out anything that could have people have the wrong perception of me, you know?
Yeah.
But she's been pretty bold from what I've seen and
ask,
heard.
What has her
She just made some really... She's pretty silent. I don't think she's been very loud with her response, as far as I know. But it was some of the things that she's said in the past about gender identity and not being very open-minded about it. And so it's tough. When it's funny, Harry Potter, if there are any fans out there who've read the books, you know, there's so much progressive ideals within the storyline and fighting against people like she's portraying herself to be, you know. So it's confusing. It's really confusing.
Totally.
And so it makes me feel, like you said, it's not a black and white thing. Yeah. It's hard for me to... I was a big Harry Potter fan when the books were out, and that's all we had, you know. And now, this coming out, and then her behavior coming really to the forefront of it all, I don't know. I just don't know where I stand with that, because she doesn't seem like she's going to change or is trying to, like, grow. She's not hurting anybody physically. She's not doing anything. She just has this really closed-minded ideal that she doesn't want to, you know, budge on. So
when you say she doesn't want to budge, has that been just because of her silence or because she said that?
I think a bit of both. Because I think her earlier statements were pretty bold. And like, this is me and I'm not changing. And now I haven't seen anything of her talking now. And I could just be missing out. Like, maybe there's something out there that I could look up and find more about. Yeah. But the talk has just been whether or not people are going to watch it. Yeah. Because of her, you know.
Well, I think, given my thoughts and my perspective of it, I think this is the season you're in of trying to give grace to see where she's going to be. And her stance. Yeah. And I hope that she does give that, because I think there are people in positions who are famous in leadership roles or whatever. Part of choosing to be that is you have to talk.
It's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility that you have. And so I hope she does for her, whichever way she sways, because if not, it'll force the fans to choose without the knowledge. And do I think that's fair for her? I don't. But is she creating that? She is. Yeah. You know, we're all human. We're all going to have different perspectives. Yeah. And stand on it.
Well, and we can change. You know, we can like have a belief system younger and then grow up and realize something different about it and be like, oh, I don't think I actually feel that way anymore. Yeah. I learned something, or I exposed myself to newer ways of life, and that changed my perspective.
Right. Well, and I think especially it being the trans community, that's such a taboo conversation in general. Yeah. And it's now coming to not be, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And so I think there should be some room for, okay, is this a moment for you to see? Do you still agree?
Yeah.
With what you said back then?
Yeah.
Now knowing what is out,
yeah,
you know?
Right.
Or
are you still a shitty person?
Are you still a shitty person? And
yeah.
Be a shitty person, and we'll see who still supports you. I guess the people who probably will support her feelings, they have the same.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, overall, when you know somebody's stance and it's not a good one, or let me say this, it's, again, the right and wrong piece, what we think is right and wrong. If it's something that you feel is wrong and you still support it, I don't like that.
Right.
I probably would challenge you on that.
Yeah.
Not you, people.
Yeah.
Just in general, because I think a part of us as a society of humans, we have to hold people accountable to what they believe in, and if it's true, and if they really stand on it, so that the good, in my opinion, things that are good and right prevail over things that are wrong.
Yeah.
And I think we are seeing a lot of things that are wrong prevailing a little bit because we haven't held people accountable.
Yeah.
So that would just be my thought on it.
I like it. Accountability is key.
Key
in this building.
Yes, it is.
Yay! Well, I think that this was like a really nice, good topic to bring up. You know, some of our stuff is very light and airy, and life isn't always light and airy.
It's not.
And we need to talk about the heavy things. And I mean, we could dive even deeper into some of the heavy stuff in that part of the world with the industry, the darkness of the industry in entertainment, you know. And maybe every now and then we pop those in and talk about them. So we'd love to get your feedback and thoughts on this topic.
Yes.
Are there artists that you are questioning on whether you're going to listen to their music, watch their movies, read their books? Is there somebody that you loved for a long time and then you found out something bad and now you don't think you can read their stuff anymore or watch their stuff anymore? Are there people that you're like, I don't care what this person has done, I will always listen to their music because they made that music before they were shitty.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't like them, but that music got me through some tough times. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I hate that they're acting like that. You know.
That's fair too.
You know, like there's just, like you said, it's complex, it's not black and white, and we're just here to like throw the conversation out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think the more that we have these uncomfortable conversations, it just really allows opportunity for people to learn.
Yeah.
To people to be exposed to things that maybe they've never been exposed to before.
Yeah.
And I think as humans, if we all think about the challenges that we faced in life, we talk about how that's made us who we are. So like, let's just have the uncomfortable conversation.
Do it.
It'll make you better.
It'll make you better. Awesome. Well, I think that's really good for today.
Yeah, me too.
I think we're going to wrap up on that note.
Yep.
So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, join us on our YouTube channel.
Please do.
And we'll see you next time here on
Sis
Synopsis.
Bye, guys.